How are you? Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
How are you?
How was the Torah study?
It's good. It's good. It's the Akedah, right? It's good stuff. It's good stuff. I mean, it's good and bad, right?
Right. Lots of discussion.
Services were lovely last night. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, it was good. It's nice to have your parents
Yeah.
and your siblings. Wow.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It was nice to see. Let me just put my towels on. I'll be right back.
Hi, Janet. How are you?
Okay.
Hi, Janet. Shabbat shalom. How are you?
Hey.
Hanging in?
Huh?
Are you hanging in? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We try to get out every day to go like to the park or something.
Yeah.
But
How's Van doing?
okay, he's doing fine.
He's doing okay. Good.
Yeah. So
You guys sign up for the vaccine? Did you have a chance to sign up?
I have an appointment for the vaccine, but it's February. It's crazy working the websites. So we're going to get it at the Dome Center.
Yeah.
But to work the websites, you have to be persevering.
Yeah. Is it in the beginning of February or end?
Mid-February.
Okay.
Or towards the end, actually. Yeah, the 19th.
Well, at least there is an end to it, hopefully.
Right.
Good. So if you get the second vaccine, maybe by Passover, you'll be fully vaccinated. It'll be nice.
Yeah, well, we just got to get Biden going on that. But this whole past week was like crazy.
Yeah. Upended everything, I think. Right, just
very hard because it's a big country. It's very hard. Like Israel already almost done with vaccinations because it's a small country. And it's easy to manage. I mean, and they always have a plan, an emergency plan. And we a big country.
So anyway.
So hoping for the best.
Rabbi, did you enjoy your holiday?
I did. Thank you. Yeah, it was, I was here, but just to have a little bit of downtime to recoup and refocus and walk outside. It's it's been so nice to be able to walk outside, right? And not need any boots, right? Just that's been it's hard to imagine, right? On January 16th that there isn't a drop of snow.
Yeah, right. What's going on?
Yeah, right.
I miss snow. I love snow.
But there's a little sunshine.
So why don't you move to Antarctica?
Hi, Alan. What did you say, Alan?
Shabbat shalom to everybody.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Oh, Marsha. Hi, Marsha.
Good morning.
Shabbat shalom. How are you?
We even got dressed.
I see you look beautiful.
Thank you.
Like at all, or just especially for?
Especially, I put lipstick on.
Yeah, we don't do services otherwise like that. You have to come at least dressed. We don't care what you're wearing.
No nude services. Okay.
That's right. It's not how we roll.
Marsha, how is your little dog?
He is doing much better. He's not so little. I mean, he's 65 pounds, but he's a big boy.
Right. Okay.
But he's doing much better. Thank you, Janet. I appreciate the question. It was such a scary night. I mean, we thought he was going to die because he ate all the poison.
What happened? What happened?
We have a problem with mice. The mice like to live here.
Yeah.
And we've been fighting them for years. And we have a contract, and the guys come out every 6 months and lay the traps, put the poison in the traps. And the traps are always hidden. They're always in a place that he can't find them, but he found one of them.
Boy.
And the trap had been filled that morning. So we know he ate all of it. And fortunately, Eric was walking from one room to another and noticed the chewed trap under the piano. And so we rushed him to the vet, and, the middle of the night, of course. And, for a mere $350, we now have our dog back.
Right.
Oh
Did they
my
have to pump? They
goodness.
have to pump a
Pump
stomach?
his stomach, yeah, the whole thing. Well, actually,
Right.
they induce vomiting. They give him a shot
Right.
and induce vomiting. Then they give him charcoal to absorb the rest of whatever might have gone into his system.
Right.
So poor baby. He was not a happy boy.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that's scary. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And he's our baby. Of all the dogs we've ever had, and we've had a lot of dogs,
Yeah.
he's our best boy.
He ate
Yeah.
poison. That was so nice. So when did it happen?
Tuesday night, Eric?
Mhm.
Yeah. Are you on, by the way?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm going to get him on and turn off his audio, and then we'll both lane through this iPad.
Right. So Marcia, you're gonna go first, and
Yes.
Eric after you. Okay. Great.
Yeah, but let me get his iPad on.
Excellent.
I know you know how to get the iPad on. That's not the issue. I just want to it's tsinai.org. I want to turn your audio off so we don't get feedback. Oh,
Oh, we're
that's weird. Okay.
What number this morning?
Okay. Scroll down to Shabbat morning service. And it's T7.
I know that Ellen Goldenberg got appointment for vaccine this coming Friday.
Good.
Three,
Good, good, good.
363.
Who just said, somebody just said in Torah study that they were able to, it was Bernice, they were able to procure their shot from Trillium.
Ah. Hi, Eric.
That's not
Oh
what
my
you
God.
want.
Hi.
Hi, Eric. Shabbat Shalom.
That's so low.
It's up here.
I know, it's
Yes, one of you probably needs to mute your
Yeah,
sound.
we did.
Yeah.
We did it. It isn't even just muting. You have to actually disconnect the audio. With the
Yes.
iPads, you get feedback.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Wow, Eric, you look so handsome in your tie.
I
and
know. Look at
everything.
him.
Wow.
I feel like I was gonna go to work this morning,
Wow. See, that's what it takes to read from Torah.
That's right. Lipstick and a tie.
Oh,
Whichever of you wants to wear whichever, all good here.
Exactly.
All good.
Exactly.
9 people.
Hi,
Good morning,
hi,
Esther.
Ellen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat
Oh,
Shalom.
Yeah.
Marsha, Torah reader.
Yeah.
And Eric, both of them.
Eric, laying in Torah, right?
Mm-hmm.
So excited, from our Torah chanting club. Wow.
Yeah, it's
It
great.
is.
It's great.
Damn this sunshine.
Great.
I thought it was going to be awful, and I really hated it the first 2 times. But I am having so much fun.
After this Shabbat, we have to sign you up for, like in the spring, because I don't want people to lose interest. Like, it's okay, I chanted, bye bye.
No. I want to keep it up.
Esther.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. We're glad that you're here, and we'll let you unmute at the end to have more conversation about all the good things, and all the things in general. But we're thankful, as always, that you're here, and hope this morning finds you in good health, and that Shabbat has unfolded well so far. We were just saying as we got started with Janet, amazing to look outside in the middle of January and not see a drop of snow, right? Just see the sun shining and some bright. Yes, I see the rays, Ellen, coming in alongside your face. Quite beautiful. Quite beautiful. So let's get started. This is both Shabbat and Shabbat Tzedek, right? We continue our observance of our Shabbat of Justice over this Martin Luther King Jr. Weekend and week ahead, right? That we honor his legacy and his teachings and need them so very much at this time, and are strengthened by both Shabbat, pardon me, both Shabbat and the teachings that from our tradition and from his work that embolden us to do what needs to be done. So join us, please, in song and in prayer and in silence and in thanks as we begin with our songs, and we belong together as we wade deeper into Shabbat.
Well, of course, this is Danny Messing Matovo, and we are looking forward to have him with us just in a couple of weeks. So hopefully you can join us for the Seder, mystical Seder on 27th for Tu B'Shvat. It would be something.
we started our conversation as everybody was signing on about who's getting a vaccine, when and where, and what the wait time is, and all the uncertainty around that. So this prayer in which we thank God for our bodies is so very timely, right? So very timely as we are moving through this fragile time, and we are keenly aware of the place our body holds and its health and its wholeness, and when things are working as they should. So we share this prayer together. Please do join me. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who formed the human body with skill, creating the body's many pathways and openings. It is well known before your throne of glory that if one of them be wrongly opened or closed, it would be impossible to endure and stand before you. Baruch atah Adonai rofecho basar umaflila asot. We praise you, Holy One, for wondrous acts of creation and healing.
And we take a deep breath as we sing together Elohai Neshama. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shina Jajari, Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shina Jajari, Tabirata, Atayitzarata, Atanefakta bi, Veata Meshamera Bekirebi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama. Shenatata bi Ehorahi.
We continue, we give thanks, we give praise. We join together as we sing Psalm 150. Hallelujah.
And again, bring out your instruments, maracas. I know some of you have percussions at home, spoons, even spoons from the kitchen would work. Clap your hands, snap your fingers, right, Rabbi? Well, thank you for your energy. I could feel it on the side. I'm sure Rabbi feels it too.
I do indeed. It is amazing, just under, right, what is it, 9-10 months later, how accustomed we have become to seeing each other's prayerful selves in our squares, right? We can actually, despite being muted, right, and not being next to each other or near each other in the congregation, we can actually sense the energy with which you're praying and are grateful Let's continue as we pray. Praised are you, sovereign of wonders, crowned in adoration, delighted in song, eternal majesty.
Let's join together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash me Rabba Belmadi berachiruti v'yamlich malchuti. B'chayechonu v'yamechon uv'chayedecho bet Israel. Bagala ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמי יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקדושה בריחו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמה ויאמרו Amen.
As we turn to our call to worship, we'll invite you please in body or in spirit to rise.
Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Or Chadash al Tzion Ta'ir, v'nizkechu lanu mehira le'oro. May you shine a new light on Zion, and may we soon be privileged to share in that light. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMerot. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights. Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. Our praise to you, Adonai. You have singled out your people Israel with love.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuta Le'olam va'ed.
And please be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta.
Together, V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher Anochi metzavecha hayom levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשבך ובקומך וקשרתם להות ידיך וחיו לרדפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך וישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
It is, in fact, such a beautiful coincidence, and not at all, that the portion that we are going to be hearing, that the Birkins are going to be sharing with us, is our lead up to our redemption from Egypt, where we say, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, right? How great are you, God, for redeeming us from Egypt? How thankful and how grateful are we? Please join us together.
Shira hadasha shipu צבאות שמו. קדוש ישראל, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We'll continue as we turn to the tefillah. I will ask you please in body or in spirit to rise as we pray together.
Adonai sefata tiftachu fi tehillah. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotinu v'imateinu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon, גם אל חסדים טובים וגונך הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד חג השם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדמה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמר אתה להיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. And please join me with קדושה. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב עליית נביאך, וקרא זה על זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוני נמהתי שמך בארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד אלוהינו, ואבינו מלכנו, ומושיענו והוא ישמיענו, מרחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated. You may be seated. And let us continue with the joy of Shabbat. I think probably Vashamru, are we? Yes. Oh, Yismechu. I had a 50-50 chance. Yismechu or Vashamru, both of them bespeak our joy of keeping Shabbat, our necessity to keep Shabbat, a delight, also a pause for us each week as we refocus, we refresh, we renew, and we come together in celebration. Join us, please, in the singing of Yismechu.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורי מלך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי 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 Shabbat v'korei Monek Shabbat Mekodeshei Monek Sheshevi Shabbat Olam Yitbeu V'yitanglu Pizlecha Shabbat V'yitmechu V'malechutecha Shomerei 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 Shabbat v'korei Monek Shabbat Yitmechu V'malechutecha Shomerei 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 Shabbat v'korei Monek Shabbat V'ashvi'i Shabbat V'kiddushta Shabbat Yamim אתה קראת שבת, שומרי, 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 שבת וקורא, עונג שבת, יתנפו במלכותך, שומרי, 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 שבת וקורא, עונג שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, זכר למעשה בראשית שבת, ויתנפו במלכותך, שומרי, 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 שבת וקורא, עונג שבת, יתנפו במלכותך, שומרי, 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 שבת וקורא, עונג שבת.
May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Baruch atah Adonai hamachazir shchinato l'Tzion. Blessed are you whose divine presence is felt again in Zion. And as we give thanks, we say, Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulechana elahudot. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose goodness deserves thanks and praise. And we'll continue with our prayers, our songs, our hopes, and our deepest yearnings for peace.
Please join me with Sim Shalom. I see a lot of you on the call, and so we'll look forward to responses, as we always do, every Shabbat. Sim Shalom, Tova u'bracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, barcheinu yotzreinu kulanu ke'echad, Behor panecha, ki behor panecha natat lanu, Adonai Eloheinu.
Sim shalom.
Sim shalom, tova u'bracha, chen v'hesed v'rachamim aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol Yisrael amecha, Torat chayim ve'achavat chesed, ואהבת חסד, וצדקה וברכה ורחמים, ושלום ושלום.
Shalom.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, הן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך, וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך.
Sim shalom.
שים שלום, טובה וברכה, הן וחסד ורחמים עלינו, ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל ישראל עמך.
Take a few moments, each of us, in silence and meditation and in prayer.
יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.
Our prayers for healing ought to follow our prayers for peace, or perhaps peace and healing ought to go one interwoven with the next. So many in need of healing and of strength and of wholeness and courage and patience and kindness of care. So many are known and others whose names we don't know, but let's include those in our prayers as well, as we say, Mishaberach Avotenu v'Imotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivarech et HaCholim. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and strengthen those who are struggling for weakness of body or weakness of spirit. This morning, we're holding in our prayers Shena Esther bat Ruchel, Chaya Necha bat Riva Leah, Simon Brightman, Katriel Parachia ben Herschel Laser v'Shoshana, Sally Graff, Sarah bat Abraham v'Sarah, William Fawcett Jr., Alan Skirker, Laura Braun, Barbara DeCario, Eric Weiner, Miriam bat Ella, Stephen Brent, Rainey Feingold, Meredith Cabanis Adder, Bracha Leah, Reverend Gordon Webster, Mary Paikunka, and Irving Manis. If there are others whom you would add to this list for Mishaberach, for prayers for healing and wholeness and strength, or names that are better spoken aloud by you, please would you unmute yourself for a moment and share that name aloud with us.
Mark Friedman, Elizabeth Friedman, and Ralph Bookbinder.
Joyce McPherson.
Marcia Scharfman, Judy Weiner, Patty Newman.
Moshe Avram ben Mariam, Milt Glendy, Barbara Batsara, Harry Ben Vivian, Dallas Ben Amber.
Those who are our first responders, our essential workers. I say it each time we offer the Mishaberach, because each time they are, I hope, sensing are including them in our prayers. Those who are in our schools, those who are administering the vaccine, those who are receiving the vaccine and unsure of how it will settle in their bodies, those who are in our supermarkets, in the stores that we need to frequent, all of those who are leading and caring for us because they must right now, those who are in hospitals and in care facilities. Let's hold all of those together in our prayers as we say, may the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May they be kept healthy and safe, and may God send renewal of body and spirit as we join together in saying, Amen.
Amen. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekorech Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing and let us say Amen.
yesterday I am doing the majority of my work from home, like so many are. And yesterday I was at Temple to collect some books and to do a little bit that needed to be done there. And I had to walk through the building, right? I had to walk through and see, and I had to go into the sanctuary because you can't be at Temple and not be in the sanctuary. And I felt like when my kids were little and they were in their cribs, and I used to tiptoe in so as not to wake them. So I went into our empty sanctuary. And then I thought, the way we did when our kids were infants, and I tiptoed in a little more, and I thought, I just have to peek in the ark and make sure the Torahs are okay. So I opened the ark and in the same way that, my mother used to talk about holding a spoon under our nose, right, to make sure that we were right. I just had to make sure that the Torahs were okay. So I am so thankful to the Cantor and to the Birkins and to all of you who are committed to keeping our Torah okay. And even though we're not in our sanctuary, even though we all want to be there and be together and hear and see and know the majesty of walking the aisle with the Torah and all of that goodness that comes with it, I am so really profoundly grateful that our teachings, that Judaism hasn't been stopped because of this time in which we are this time that we are moving through, that you have made the loving commitment as Jews before you have, to keep Torah alive and heard and felt and understood. So Birkins, we are thankful. Cantor, we are thankful. All of you who are enduring and endeavoring to learn Torah and how to chant Torah, to study Torah, thank you. Thank you. This is how we've done it for thousands of years. So we turn now to our Torah reading, our Torah discussion. We find ourselves in the book of Exodus, just beginning our reading of the book of Exodus. This morning we are going to be looking at Vayera. This morning in Torah study, we were in Vayera with a yud in it, or right with a yud sound in the middle. And this morning in Torah study, we're in Vayera. So right from the Akedah, where we started this morning in Torah study, to our transition into the book of Exodus. We are looking forward to hearing words of Torah from you.
Well, thank you, Rabbi. So let's first unmute and recite the blessings together before reading of the Torah, but don't forget to mute yourself back. So if you unmute and we wanna hear your voices, but again, mute yourself back. Ready? Baruch Hu Adonai Hamborach, Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed, Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah. Okay, I'm gonna project, and Marsha will be the first to read. We have two courageous people who will read for us.
Vayomer Adonai El Moshe Re'eh Netaticha Elohim LeFaro Va'aharon Achicha Yehieh Neviecha V'ata Tidaber Et Kol Asher Atzavecha V'aharon Achicha Yedaber El Paro V'shilach Et Bnei Yisrael Me'artzo Va'ani Akshe Et Lev Paro V'hir Beiti Et Ototai Ve'et Movtai Ve'eretz Mitzrayim.
Beautiful, beautiful. And we go right to Eric.
V'lo yishma Elochem paro v'tatati et yadi v'mitzrayim v'chotzeti et zavo Tai et ami b'nei Yisrael mi'eretz Mitzrayim bishvati gadolim. Vayadu Mitzrayim ki ani Adonai imtoti et yadi al Mitzrayim v'chotzeti et b'nei Yisrael mitocham. Va'ayas Moshe v'Aaron ka'asher zeva Adonai otam ken asu.
Beautiful. We'll join together in the closing blessing. You can unmute. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam natav b'dacheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Well, beautiful work. Again, the reminder that this is a Torah chanting club that we meet on Sundays, and people learn how to chant from Torah with trop. So they did not learn from the recording; they learned from the trop. So Mazel Tov.
Yasher koach, yasher koachechem.
I just want to say thank you to Cantor Braun, because I can't sing, I can't carry a tune, I don't know how to read music, and she has somehow taught me to do this.
Well, thank you. Thanks. It's an honor. Thank you.
It's you come with a full heart to share words of Torah, and you succeed. You succeed in sharing them. So thank you both to Marcia and to Eric for sharing living words of Torah with us. We are so grateful, so very grateful. Yasher koach, both of you. So you just read for us from Parshat Vayera. And it is some of the most dramatic and some of the most well-known, best-known stories in the Bible. We know we're faced with the section that you just both read. We're faced with an unyielding, with a stubborn Pharaoh, a God who unleashes 7 signs, marvels, wonders, however we understand them, to convince this ruler, this Pharaoh, that resistance to God is futile, and that ultimately God will succeed. So these are commonly known as the plagues, right? We're coming up to that time at Pesach time, and this is really a battle of determination and might, a defining moment in the Israelites' story. God's ability to bend the laws of nature, seemingly, and to do so in accordance with God's divine will and purpose. That's what we're looking at here. Yet behind this scene and behind this incredible drama, there's a whole story of human beings and human emotions. A Moses who we're told is insecure and a reluctant prophet, right? A Pharaoh who vacillates between being defiant and chastened and demoralized. And this overarching theme, and this comes to us from the women's commentary, the women's Torah commentary, is the reassurance of God's power and God's eternal protection of the people Israel. So this is the story, the beginning that you just read for us, Perkins. This is where we find ourselves in our story. It begins with, right, the whole parsha begins with God's reviewing the covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our forefathers. And the Israelites worry, right? They worry that they're never going to make it out of Egypt. And God says, I'm going to help you, but it looks a little sketchy to them, and they're not sure. So despite God's message that they'll be redeemed from slavery, the Israelites really remain doubtful and are worried, to say the least. And God tells Moses and Aaron that they are in fact going to deliver the Israelites from slavery, and they'll be redeemed. In it, we see, just before we're going to look at the text together, we see Moses and Aaron perform miracles, right? We see a shift of rods turning into serpents. So the imagery, it would make a great movie scene, right? But ultimately, the plagues and the emphasis on how visually astounding this must have all been are really to teach us a lesson. So we are going to read some Torah. I'm going to share the screen in just a minute. We're going to read from Exodus chapter 7, verse 1 to 14. This is the Hebrew that you both just read. We're not going to ask you to read it again, but I'm going to screen share. Hold on one second. Where did my text go? My text just, oh, here. Here, okay. One page, okay. Let me make it so that it is legible to you, and hopefully you can see that, yes? Yes, can everybody see the text? Yes, good, big enough for everybody? Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If it's big enough, give me a thumbs up. Okay. Okay, you can also, for those for whom it's not big enough, you can go to your own view settings and increase, if you go to view options, you can increase the size of the text as well, okay? So we just said the bracha, and this is you know, almost a repetition of the section that we just read. So I'm hoping somebody will offer to read the English of this passage. No Hebrew Bergens, you are excused from reading the English because you just read the Hebrew, but would somebody read the English for us of this passage? Do we have a volunteer, or you can unmute yourself? Ellen, thank you.
Go.
Good to go.
The Eternal said to Moses, "See, I have made you a lord over Pharaoh, and Aaron, your brother, will be your prophet or speaker. You shall speak all that I command you, and Aaron, your brother, shall speak to Pharaoh to let the children of Israel out of his land. But I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and I will increase my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh will not hearken to you, and I will lay my hand upon Egypt, and I will take my legions, my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt."
Aaron was speaking for Moses. Do you think that's him calling?
I don't know.
It might be, right? Might be.
It's actually Bethany. What? I don't even know what thing I'm on. Oh, am I on 3? No, 4. Tell me what I'm on. Tell me what verse I'm on.
Why don't you pick up at 4?
But Pharaoh will not hearken to you, and I will lay my hand upon Egypt, and I will take my legions, my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt with great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Eternal when I stretch forth my hand over Egypt, and I will take the children of Israel out of their midst. This Moses and Aaron did, as the Eternal commanded them, so they did. And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron was 83 years old when they spoke to Pharaoh. The Eternal One spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, "When Pharaoh speaks to you, saying, 'Provide a sign for yourselves,' you shall say to Aaron, 'Take your staff and cast it down before Pharaoh. It will become a serpent.'" Thereupon Moses and Aaron came to Pharaoh, and they did so, just as the Eternal had commanded. Aaron cast his staff before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh, for his part, summoned the sages and the magicians or sorcerers, and the Egyptian magician priests, in turn, did likewise with their magic. Each of them cast down his staff, and they became serpents, but Aaron's staff swallowed their staffs. But Pharaoh's heart remained steadfast or stiffened, and he did not hearken to them as the Eternal had spoken.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You had, it sounded, I don't know if it was just like for me, you sounded like you had propellers behind you. Could anybody else hear that? Yeah, yeah. So it kind of added to the mystique of the story, right? That there was something going on. So tell me, just at first blush, right? So when we read text, we know that we read it at, I'm going to unmute everybody. we read it, pardon me, on the pshat level, right? We read it first on the surface level. We read just what we could see if we were looking at the water, what we see. So tell me on the surface level, how do you understand what's happening in the story? Just this slice of the story, what's happening? I unmuted you, so if you remuted you, you're welcome to unmute. What's happening right now? Well, give us a 2-sentence synopsis of where we are in our story.
It seems that Aaron and Moses are trying to do some quote unquote magic that the Pharaoh will believe anything that they say.
Right. So we have we have this kind of push-pull, right? We have this push-pull. Pharaoh is saying, no, I won't let you go. And Moses and Aaron are trying to fight on Pharaoh's terms, right? We have the Egyptian magicians and sorcerers and soothsayers and all the different, everybody's been brought out, right? To do what they can to try to convince them otherwise. And Moses and Aaron are trying best they can to fight on what we would maybe call a level playing ground, right? Yes. What else do you notice? What else do you notice just in your first read? And anything else at all? Anybody struck by the very first verse? Maybe you remember it said, the Eternal said to Moses, see, I have made you a lord over Pharaoh. Right? And the word itself is Elohim. And Aaron, your brother, will be your prophet, right? Your Navi, your speaker, right? God says to Moses, I have made you an Elohim over Pharaoh. What do you think God meant by that? It's quite a promotion, right? That Moses gets to the role of an Elohim. What do you think? Yeah, Ellen, please.
It feels like the first level of a bunch of competitions.
Yeah.
And everybody's going to go and square off in the realm there. And the first competition is, how are we going to take the first lowest level of competition between our God and Pharaoh, who is God of whatever in their culture. And they start off with the basest of competitions, which is magic. And I think it must be reassuring to Moses that God has put him in this status before all of these competitions.
Right. So his promotion is to kind of suit him up properly, right? Is that what you're suggesting, to make him more of a seeming equal with Pharaoh?
Well, considering where he came from and how he left that palace atmosphere and he's going back, I'd want someone to tell me, hey buddy, you can do it and you're just as good and you're just as equal, and and I'm letting Aaron come and help you, but you're the main guy here.
You're the main guy, and the charge is yours, right? And you're tasked with convincing
the first line toward the end.
Say it again.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was thinking that God really made Moses over Pharaoh, because isn't it Elohim le Pharaoh? A God over Pharaoh or against Pharaoh or to Pharaoh.
Yes.
And so he's assuring him before this, I agree with Ellen that there's going to be this whole hierarchy of tests that Moses is going to have to go through. But he's assuring him beforehand, you're going to be the winner.
Right. There's something set up right in that very first verse that you read that said, right, that it's kind of the spoiler alert for us, right? That says, you're going to succeed. Even though your followers don't believe that you're going to be redeemed from Israel, let me just tell you how it's going to go. And let me give you this hint, right? I'm going to make you like a God, right? I'm going to make you a Lord, however we understand that word Elohim. And I'm glad that you caught the grammatic piece of the le, which actually means over, or against. That's exactly in the Hebrew how it plays out, right? This is one of the epic times that we talk about the Odyssey, right? Why a perfectly good, almighty, and all omniscient, right, an all-knowing God allows evil. Right? If a God who could harden Pharaoh's heart, couldn't this God also soften Pharaoh's heart? How do we understand that, right? What's the function? Why is it, do you think, in just an initial read, or hopefully you've done some other reading of this story, what's the function, the literary function, right? Not even the Jewish function. What's the literary function of a God who can harden Pharaoh's heart? What do you think is the purpose of that?
In Latin, it's called Deus ex machina.
Tell us a little bit more.
Literary. I'm thinking in literature, Deus ex machina is a God out of the machine in Latin, and it's a literary device that contributes to the motivation, the plot, and the motivation of the protagonist. That's the best I can do.
It's 100% it. Somebody add just a couple of sentences onto that. What are you thinking? It's exactly its function here, right? What does it do? How does it make us understand God's eventual role in this story? Are you talking about God being the protagonist, Esther, or Moses?
Moses. It's a way of moving the action, the plot forward, and giving the protagonist meaning and strength and motivation.
So on the one hand, right, you're talking about Moses. Yeah, Janet, go ahead.
Well, I was thinking of it in terms of the story. We're reading this story, and it also adds tension and it adds interest, so we should continue reading the story. If we know already how it's going to turn out, why bother?
Right. So it just kind of sparks our curiosity and our interest, right? And there's this seeming elevation of Moses to some lofty height, right? And that there is a God in Moses team and a Pharaoh team, right? Right. That we have the difference, and it's interesting, Esther, that you point to that. It both elevates the status of Moses and his possibility of continuing to lead at this pivotal moment in our people's history. And it also serves to function, right, in some way to elevate God in a time when there were other gods we were talking about this morning in Bible study, right? Where prophets were there were many of them, right? The thinking was, were there many on different corners spouting and espousing their teachings, and the one who had the best, the most compelling case won if there were multitudes of prophets, right? What does this dynamic set up for us historically, right? A God who ultimately, we know, right? A God who ultimately succeeds in softening in some way a recalcitrant Pharaoh's heart, and ultimately leading to our redemption, right? From slavery and from Egypt. Right. What is the purpose of this portion, right? Nechama Leibowitz teaches us, right? The scholar teaches us, it's an attempt to break Pharaoh's arrogant heart and teach him to know God, right? That it's not just for our people to come and know God, but that Pharaoh should know who is God, capital G, right? Well, what else caught your attention from this passage?
The other thing that it always bothered me that God had to harden Pharaoh's heart. But I've done a lot of reading about it and Torah study at Sinai about it. And to me, it seems as if he didn't harden Pharaoh's heart, and he didn't then have to bring higher and higher levels of showing that he was in control, that it wouldn't have broken Pharaoh in the same way, that he needed to be able to do it in steps. To say, okay, you think you're going to win, but you're not.
Right. Right. It's exactly. So you've done some good deep dives in this, right? Each of the plagues, right? Each successive plague, right? You know, at what point, right? We think, oh, this is going to be the moment when Pharaoh's heart isn't hardened. No, that, you know, so I think it's not until I think it's the fourth plague, right? That Pharaoh's heart is softened, right? We have the number 10 at work in here as well, right? We have all different, right? All different points in this plot at which we think Pharaoh is going to release the Israelites, but doesn't, right? We have, in fact, right, Rabbi Samson Hirsch, Raphael Hirsch, also talks about the different words that are used to talk about how Pharaoh's heart is hardened, right? Do you know the words from the text, what they are? We just heard hardened or stiffened. Do you know the Hebrew of the words? Just unmute yourself, those of you who I see your lips moving.
Aksher et lev.
Right. So we, yeah, go ahead.
I guess the phrase is va'ani aksher et lev paro.
Right, which comes from the word stubborn, actually, right?
Yeah.
So we have kasher, which comes from a hard, a kind of recalcitrant way, right? There's nothing that's moving. We have kaved, the word from kaved, which means a heaviness, right? And we have chazak eventually, right? Which also we know the word to strengthen, right? Or to make firm, indicating that there's no movement, nothing that's malleable or pliant at all, right? Three different words to talk about one man's heart being stiffened, right? Which leads us to the thought that eventually, right, the moment in which the Israelites are released, right, is even more noteworthy, right? Anything else at all that caught your attention? Anything that catches your attention, maybe for these times with the hardening of hearts and whose choice it is and what needs to be seen without getting into the weeds, right? You know, what needs to be seen, what needs, right? This is a very action-oriented parsha, right? We see it's a lot of visuals, right? What needs to happen? Do people need to, right? We say, don't tell them, show them. Right. That's what we tell people when they're writing. Don't tell people that they're going to be redeemed. Show them that they're going to be redeemed. Don't tell them that I am a God who is all powerful or a leader who can do this. Show them, right? We see Aaron's rod turning into a serpent, right? We see, right, as Ellen pointed to, right? I'm going to meet you on this if there's this escalating war of how we're going to get there. I'm going to show you first on your terms, and then I'm going to show you how my God can do it, right? And even when you think it's not possible, here's what you're going to need to see to believe it, right? Any other thoughts at all? As yeah, please, Ellen.
It just seems though that this is a story that's begged to be told and not read, and setting up the words that continually repeat each other is very effective, because the hearer, the listener, actually has to buy into the story.
Right.
And for the purposes of getting the Hebrew people to even want to leave, they have to be convinced too. And remember, this is written down of a story that's passed on. And so the thing that catches my brain is that later on, when we're out in the wilderness, we are continually referred to as a stiff-necked people.
Right.
So and that's of our own doing. It never says God made us a stiff-necked people so that there was no purpose to our being stubborn and stiff-necked and whiny and all that stuff. But it's the same concept. And hearing it is different than reading it or even studying it. You hear the rhythm of the story.
Right. One of my colleagues wrote, well, you know, one of my contemporary colleagues wrote, just as we pay attention to heart health, we need to check our hard-hearted health as well, right? What makes us stiff-necked? What makes us stubborn? What makes us recalcitrant, right? And where is our, you know, what's the difference between righteousness and self-righteousness, right? And
just our godly DNA.
Right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to study and to consider this parsha, and a much deeper exploration is warranted, and certainly as we head into the spring and into Pesach, right, we'll learn some more about the story. And thank you, Berkins, for your willingness to share Torah for us, as Ellen says, for us to hear the telling of the story. It's really what is most needed. So we thank you. We thank you. Let us continue. We didn't bracket with a Torah blessing study because we had our Aliyot, which was delightful this morning, and onward we go in our consideration of our study of Torah. But for now, we will turn to the concluding elements of our service. And hope that you will join us as well. Invite you, right? We say Aleinu l'shabach l'Adon HaKol, that it's our duty, it's upon us, it's on our shoulders to do this work, right? Not just to praise God and to be aware of God's sovereignty, but to do what is needed. So join us, please, as we turn to our concluding prayers to the Aleinu, and in body or in spirit, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה לייצר בראשית, שלא סרגי ארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחת האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו גהם וגורלנו כל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Let us turn our thoughts to loved ones whom death has taken from us in recent days, and those who died at this season in years past. We open our hearts as well to the wider circles of loss in our community and wherever grief touches the human family. This morning, this Shabbat, during the period of Shloshim, these last 30 days, we're mourning the loss of Rose R. DiGiulio, mother of Linda Kirshen, Madeline Paperno, mother of Jill Paperno, Lonnie Perlman, brother of Ellen Kroll and uncle of Kenneth Kroll, Myrna Weinstein, wife of Seymour Weinstein and mother of Vicky Weinstein Finnefrock, and Lillian Baker, grandmother of Candace Baker Light. This Shabbat marks a yahrzeit, an anniversary of passing for Eleanor Campbell, Beatrice Ettlinger, Sarah Feinstein, Barbara Merlis Florentine, Mary Gleason, Gladys Greenberg, Arthur Long, Stephen Magid, Corinne McChesney, Louis J. Pies, Gerald Regan, Max Rosenstein, Alex Schneer, Esther Schwartz, Max Schwartz, Shirley Schwartz, Marvin Seaman, Joseph Schulman, Ann Schulman, Marshall Spiller, Helen Steinberg, and Catherine Walker. If there are other names that you would add to either list or names that are better spoken aloud by you, would you please unmute yourself and share that name aloud with us? Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for our blessing as we continue with the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei v'yamei v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam umei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudusha brichu. Le'ila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama Rabbah min Shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace bestow peace on all who mourn, and may we be a source of comfort to all who are bereaved as we join together and say, Amen. Please be seated. Please be seated. Some announcements for today and for the week ahead. Tomorrow morning we have religious school and our second in a 5-part series of Torah Tales. Tomorrow, actually, appropriately, we are looking at the book of Exodus. Each class is a standalone. I'm teaching that, and we had a good start last week. So last week we looked at Genesis in an hour, and tomorrow we'll look at Exodus in an hour at 9:30. The Torah Chanting Club. Birkin's proof positive that it is a good and wonderful way to spend an hour tomorrow morning. Join the cantor at 11 o'clock. Please note the difference in the time. At 11 o'clock tomorrow morning for the Torah Chanting Club, and then tomorrow afternoon we will have the opportunity for those who are in need or who want to join at 5 o'clock to have an informal conversation about the state of our nation. Just really a chance for us to gather and to be with one another. Our office is closed on Monday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but always, if there's an emergency, call in and you will find one of our numbers posted. And next week we continue with Shabbat services again at 6 p.m. and the following morning. Torah study at 9:15, and our 7th graders are co-leading services with us at 10:30. And we also, is it John who reads next week? I forget who is reading. Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
John.
Yep. So come back and be with both our 7th graders and John, and let's do some Torah reading and learning together. And then the whole wonderful list upcoming with Danny Mussing, who is going to be with us beginning on, as the cantor said, Wednesday, January 27th through a chunk of the weekend, and you'll want to be with us then. One last thing to announce is I forgot last night to share with you. On Monday, February 1st at 7 p.m., Social Action will be presenting racism and health disparities in our community with our first speaker, Dr. Linda Clark, who is the co-founder and president of the Black Physicians Network of Greater Rochester. That will be also a wonderful opportunity for us to learn. Any announcements from where you are? Please just unmute yourself. Anything that we should know about from where you sit?
Rabbi, I just want to add about Purim, that this year we're doing Disney Purim, Disney Megillah, and we're inviting the whole congregation to record one song that everybody knows. It's from Mickey Mouse March. It's a small world after all, right? So everybody knows that. The information will be on the website. The track to record and the lyrics, and if you feel like you need help, please reach out to me. By February 1st we need to submit all the recordings, so I hope that everybody will participate and it's fun. And if you have children, grandchildren, make them sing. Thank you.
Lovingly, not in the way we were just talking about, right? We're not talking about from the biblical mandate, right? Just lovingly give that nudge, right.
Yes.
Let's turn, if there are no other announcements at all, let's turn to our concluding song and final prayers. If you have kiddush, if you have wine or grape juice, please join us. If it is your custom to rise, please do so, and we'll give thanks and sanctity to this day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
And together join in Hamotzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. In good health, you should eat and be well and be sustained. This is a good time for us to talk about nation not taking up sword against nation or in a nation. And let us sing Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev together.
Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama, Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama, Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama, Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama, Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama, Lo Yisa Goy El Goy Cherev, Lo Yilmedu de Milchama. Amen ve amen.
Amen and amen. We're going to unmute everybody. We wish you good health in this week up ahead. As I said in Torah study, please God, let it be a healthy, uneventful, safe week ahead for everybody, uneventful in all the right ways. And we're always so very grateful to spend Shabbat with you. But we wish you a Shabbat Shalom. You should be unmuted if you choose to be, and can talk to each other.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you, Marsha and Eric, and your grandchildren, your granddaughter, Joanna, your daughter, right? That's your daughter?
Oh, but really?
I don't know.
No.
Oh,
No. I won't tell you this, but they're skiing for Shabbat.
Right, Shabbat.
But I'm going to get, my granddaughter loves to sing. So I'm definitely going to get, probably my grandson won't do it, but my granddaughter will definitely sing, It's a Small World. She loves the song. They've been to Disney many times. So
Great, yes. Just
I will get
reach
that
out-
done.
Sure, reach out to me if you need help.
Yeah, no, I'll figure it out.
Great. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Nice job, Marsha and Eric. I
It was
just want to
excellent.
say, and I'm
Do it again. You have definite skill and most importantly kavanah. Your intention, your heart's intention is so clear and visible. So grace us with that again, please, and share with the Torah
We
again.
both agreed that we don't want to give up the Torah chanting club, and we will definitely do it again in the spring.
Excellent.
No problem.
Excellent. Thank you.
It's become a very positive thing. Part of it being the people in the group are just wonderful. Everybody's really dedicated.
Good. We got some pretty amazing folks, right? Some pretty
Yeah.
amazing folks that I know. We're richly blessed. Agreed.
We are.
Nice, yeah.
Well, I'm going to get going. Guess who's getting their COVID shot this afternoon?
Oh, good.
Not me. My husband.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Good.
On the day that they said 75 and over could do it, I got him an appointment that day. Then
Excellent.
the next day they said 65 and over, and I don't have an appointment until later in the month, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Good. You're halfway.
We're
in,
halfway,
and
exactly.
Look, Pharaoh needed steps, right?
Exactly.
We needed
It's all
action
steps.
steps, right? This is our plague.
It is
Steps to get
all
there
steps.
too. It's good. It's
You
good.
are
It's good.
absolutely right. And this is actually, it is part of a step, because Eric and I have both signed up to volunteer for the PODs, the points of distribution.
Good.
But Eric had signed up as a doctor. We're a retired doctor. So once he's got his second shot, he can start giving shots.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank him as well.
I will.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, Alan.
many families are going to be able to have Passover this year because the parents and grandparents have had their shots.
That's nice. Alan, your son is getting shot too?
No, he's only 43.
It's coming.
They quarantine all the time. They were here a few weeks ago because they sit in their house for 10 days and then they came here and then they sat in their house for 10 days. Not like they did anything here.
That's
But,
good.
It just means that I will be able to travel to New York.
That's
Not
nice.
Everybody come up. So I'm so optimistic about that and so excited because Passover is only 10 weeks away.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Alan, you always put
a
everything.
box of matzah in Wegmans right by the place where they're giving shots.
Wow.
They're already selling matzah? Oh, hi.
They will be soon, very soon. You'll see.
Yeah.
Ah,
6 weeks before.
Yeah. Amazing.
wow.
Amazing. Bernice, were you able to sign up?
What, for the shot?
Yeah. For the second one, right? I know you had your first one.
It's February 11th.
Good.
Hi.
Say hello.
Good.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Keep well, everybody. Keep
Stay
well.
well. Have a good week. A
You
safe.
too.
Esther has a lot of chachkas in her house. Yeah, she always like gives out, did you see on Facebook, she always like gives
Yeah.
out checks because she still has a lot.
It's, hold on one second.
I'm a co-host actually.
Yeah.
with you, so
I made you, I forgot to do it. I meant to do it last night. But I forgot. Huh?
Last night, you know who was talking during the kiddush in the beginning? Wendy.
Always.
And I couldn't mute her because I wasn't co-host.
I know, what I forgot. I two things I forgot last night. I forgot to make you co-host. And I when I realized it, I don't want to do it while you're singing because I don't know if it pops up in the middle of your screen and is distracting.
What pops up?
When I make you a co-host, does it pop up on your screen that shows that you're co-hosting?
It's okay. It won't disturb me.
Okay, because I know when someone, even if it's private, not in screen share, sometimes it just kind of throws me. So I realized it last night and I thought, I don't want to do it in case it throws you. I also, when I come on and get started, just kind of get myself set up, I forgot to turn it off right now.